Shalom, and you're now locked in here at Israelite Talk TV, where you get nothing but the raw and the real whenever I'm in front of the camera. So make sure y'all show the page some love, like, subscribe, and share. Shalom and greetings, and welcome back to another episode here at Israelite Talk TV, one of the #1 platforms where you don't get any paid media. Okay, thank you. Now, family, real quick this morning, I'm coming to you guys with a quick update, but it's a very explosive update in the Hamas and the Israeli showdown that's taking place. Okay, got some things I got to run out and do this morning, so this update is not going to be that long, right? But it's going to be very, very, very big. That's right. You see the title, right? News is breaking that it's being alleged that Hamas allegedly took a billion from the Israelis during the October 7th attack. Okay, and we're getting ready to break it down point by point. The other thing that we're going to touch on real quick is that it's also being reported that on October 7th, when Hamas fired all those rockets into Israel, it's being alleged that not so much as being alleged, it's being brought to the forefront that they actually hit a nuclear site in Israel, right? And it basically causes fire up under or by the nuclear facility. Okay, so we're going to go through that, you know what I'm saying? That way you guys can know and be up on the latest news concerning the Israeli showdown, because there's a lot of stuff that's taking place and it's happening with Olympic speed. Okay, so I gotta try to make sure that I'm keeping up on these updates and giving you guys this information. Now, also, real quick before I get into this, right? Make sure you guys are liking this video and sharing this video. I need y'all to get the likes up, okay, so we can get this information out. They're already hating on my channel, so I need y'all support. Share this video. Get this information out, not only to our people, but get it out to the blog sites. You know, you got a lot of blog platforms that's talking about this Israeli showdown that's taking place, and we got to understand that there's a media war that's going on because the Israelis have already lost this war, so they're spending millions of dollars on social media campaigns in order to try to combat, you know, the truths of what's really going on. You know, they're flooding the internet with nothing but lies, and this is something, depending on how much time I got today, I might come back later on this afternoon and do another update on this, right? But now let's get into this thing, right? So there's a report, right, that came out, right? And once again, like I said, there's different news outlets, that's talking about this, but there's going to be more talk about this coming real soon. So just make sure that you guys know what's going on and that you heard it here first. Okay. Now, New York Post just put out an article on the 4th. Okay. Just came out on the 4th. It's fresh off the press. Okay. And they're not the only one. There's other news outlets that's reporting that Hamas may have reaped financial windfall betting against Israeli stocks ahead of October attack. Okay. Let's get into this, right? So you guys can understand what they're alleging that Hamas did, right? Let's see. Can I pull this up? All right, let's just go through this real quick. It says investors linked to Hamas may have reaped massive financial windfalls from the October 7th terror attack. According to a pair of prominent U.S. researchers who discovered major bets against stocks of Israeli companies that were placed during the weeks leading up to the massacre. In an explosive report published Monday titled Trading on Terror, law professors Robert Jackson Jr. of the New York University and Joshua Mintz of Columbia University detailed suspicious stock trading activity that has since sparked a probe by Israeli authorities. Okay, grasp. In one shocking example cited in the 67-page paper, an unidentified trader shorted 4.43 million shares in Israel's largest bank. Okay, grasp, right? let move. Hey, forgive me. Bear with me. Okay. Right. Um between September 15th and October 5th, resulting in nearly 900 million profit after Israeli economy ground to a halt amid amid the war in Gaza. Okay, let's go. Okay, if Hamas did this, let's get them boys a round of applause, man. This is this if this is accurate with what they're saying, this falls right in line with what Scott Ritter, okay, the famous weapon inspector, okay, ex-Marine, has stated when he has stated that this was the most masterful, well executed, okay, and I'm paraphrasing here, military operation slash campaign that Hamas has laid down on the Israelis. Okay. And like he said, they didn't think that the Hamas was this capable of doing all of this. But it's being alleged that they took almost a billy off of the Israelis. Okay. And what they're saying is, right, and let's get back into this report. Okay. It says, so you guys can understand this. So-called short sellers place complex bets against stocks that pay off when the stock fall. Jackson, a former Securities and Exchange Commission member, admits a short-selling expert concluded that the short sellers were likely linked to Hamas. Although we see no aggregate increase in shorting of Israeli companies on U.S. exchanges, we do identify a sharp and unusual increase just before the attacks in trading and risky short dated options on these companies expiring just after the attacks. So basically what they're doing, they're basically betting, right? They're short selling. They're basically saying, okay, these stocks are going to fall to, this amount before this date and time. And so what you guys got to understand is what they're alleging is that they basically placed all these bets knowing that this was going to happen. And this kind of falls in line with some of the talks that's been peddled on a lot of these different platforms where it's being alleged that the Israelis knew about this attack that was going to happen. If you guys go back to the beginning of my coverage of this war, I've explained to you guys how I've always felt from the beginning that Benjamin Netanyahu knew that this was going to happen, but he allowed it to happen in order to get the government in a position where they have to play ball, okay? Because they was having civil unjust over there in the created land of Israel because of the judicial reforms and stuff like that, where Benjamin Netanyahu was going out and trying to alter the law in order to protect him for the bribery cases and stuff that he has going on. Okay, so he tried to go in and alter the laws and stuff, and this is what caused the uprise within the land of Israel. And they're still rioting over there and protesting outside of his house over there. The media is not covering that. They're not going to cover it. This is why you got to go to alternative media, like places like here and other places that's reporting accurately on what's going on in the Middle East, where you can get the real information, because you're not going to get it from the mainstream media. Anytime the Israeli come out and say they attacked Hamas targets, which is a lie, okay, they've been caught dead. And I'm gonna bring that up. I got something that's coming where I'm going to show you where Pierre Morgan asked that general or whatever he is, how do you know how many people you're killing? Well, we don't know, but yet they'll come out and say we struck and hit 400 targets and all of this other stuff, but they don't know how many militants are in these tunnels. So they're not really striking Hamas. They're killing innocent people because they can't get to Hamas in their anger. So these people are lying. So family, it's being alleged that they took almost a billion off of them. They betted short and said that these shares would fall. And with the war that happened, it definitely fell, and them boys cashed out. If what these reports that's coming out are true, okay. Now let's jump on this, and I'm gonna wrap this up. Right, let's jump over to the Times of Israel. Right. And we're going to get into this another explosive report that was dropped also December 4th. Okay. And it goes something like this: Hamas rocket hit IDF base thought to house nuclear capable missiles on October 7th. Okay. Now, it goes on to say a rocket launched by Hamas terror group from the Gaza Strip on October 7th hit a sensitive Israeli Air Force base in central Israel, where some of Israel's nuclear capable missiles are allegedly located, according to a report by New York Times. Citing satellite imagery, the report said that one rocket hit in the vicinity of Esda Makkah Air Base near Biat Shemesh on the morning of October 7th, as Hamas fired thousands of rockets at Israel during its onslaught on the south. Okay. Highlight this. A fire erupted and burned some 40 acres at the base, but did not appear to reach strategic facilities. The daily paper found through a visual analyst of the rocket attacks aftermath. Speaking to the New York Times, Haas Christensen, director, Federation of American Scientists Nuclear Information Project, estimated that there are 25 to 50 nuclear capable Jericho missile launchers at the base, which experts believe can carry nuclear warheads. Okay. And they go on to say, if you keep reading this report, that they believe that the rockets and the nuclear warheads are being basically stored at two different places. Okay. Now, why is this important to understand? I did a message or update, I don't know, about a few weeks ago, probably a month now, not sure, where I sent the warning out to the Hebrew Israelites down in Dimona. Okay. And I explained how they need to be careful. They really need to get out of that area where they're at, because of the nuclear facility that's down there. When this all-out war breakout, and it's coming, okay, it has to come because it's already prophesied into knock that it's going to happen. Okay, now if this is this the season, hey, that's still to be determined. Okay, because there's a lot of pump faking that's going on in the Middle East over there, right, with these Arabic nations. Okay, which is crazy to me, because if they sit up here and they watch and see the dirty and underhanded stuff that the Americans are doing in conjunction with the Israelis, why would they trust them? Why would they trust anything that come out their mouth when they get in front of these cameras and they use that double tongue? They want to backpack and make sure like they showing support for Hamas, and then they want to also act like they're showing support for Israel. And you can't do the both. You can't have your cake and eat it too. It's got to be one or the other, because both can't be right. Okay, it's either you don't want all these people being killed down here in Gaza, or you do. Okay, but you can't say that Israel can't be doing all of this stuff, and then you're supplying with all of the material to go in there and kill them. It's like one of those things. Well, I'm gonna get in front of the camera. Y'all know how these politicians is, and I'm gonna say this right here, say that, but you just keep on and keep killing as many Palestinians you can kill, while we hold traffic up with all of this nonsense that you see going on with these leaders that just can't get on the right track. And my thing to the Arabic nations is that, like, you just had Erdogan from Turkey. They just spoke at the summit that they just had, and he speaks about how the Israelis are war criminal, they're terrorists, and they're bringing all of this friction and stuff into the region. I'm just paraphrasing, but yet nobody is doing nothing. At some point, y'all already know that the United States is feeding these people guns and ammunition and things like that, and they gonna do that because they are the landlords. I keep telling y'all this. I sit down and I listen to these ignorant people. Will the United States supports Israel unconditionally? It's because they're the landlords. They took that land in World War I. That's their stuff. They have no choice. Now they're gonna come before the camera and dress everything up as they always do, because as I told y'all, they are the masters of illusions. Okay, they have mastered this craft. They are masters at utilizing Jedi mind tricks. Okay, they are experts in using mind control techniques. Okay, this is what we're dealing with these people, man. And it's crazy that these Arab nations sit over here and see this stuff and they're not doing nothing. They still trust these people. You have to force their hand. Okay. You got to put if the United States is serious about what they're saying and they're backing the Israelis up and everybody in the region know they're doing it, you got to force the United States hand to make them stop them. Okay, all of this so-called peaceful protesting and all of this cap, that's not going to get nothing done. Hamas is showing you how to get stuff done. They took hostages and they forced their hand and made them people bargain. When Benjamin backtrack Netanyahu came out, because that's his name, Benjamin backtrack, okay, because he backtracked on what he said he wasn't gonna do. We're not gonna negotiate with terrorists, but you negotiated. You said there wouldn't be no ceasefire and y'all paused for almost a week. So Benjamin backtrack. Just sit down, man. Okay, now getting back to my point, the Israelites that's down here in Dimona, in that area, you guys have to understand that there's a nuclear plant out in Dimona. Okay. All it takes is for when this thing go all the way up. The first thing that ones must understand is that the Israelis have no friends in that region. They're surrounded by enemies everywhere they turn, from Syria all the way to Egypt. Okay. The only reason why these people are playing fair is because of the United States to some degree. Okay. Grass. If it go up where they send this thing up, and it's going to go up because you got to understand that Russia is back in Iran. You better know that. Okay. They keep saying it's Iran, it's Iran, it's Iran stuff, but they not messing with Iran. Okay. And I'm going to tell you something else that they're doing with Iran. They just killed some Iranian proxies, as they call it, in Syria. Iran said there's going to be a response for that they're not going to get away with that. So it sounds to me like they're trying to bait Iran into this war. But the thing about it is, if it go down, it's going to get ugly in that region. Okay. The Israelis are not going to get away if it go down in that region, because I'm going to break this down some more, because where they're sitting at, and you're dealing with elevations and stuff, they can fire those precision missiles down in Israel, and it's over with. Okay, the United States would not be able to save them people if war actually broke out over there. They could put all that shit in the Mediterranean and the Red Sea and all of that stuff, but if it go down, it's not going to save them, because even though they have all these aircraft carriers out there, where are they gonna land this stuff when all our war? You got missiles flying from everywhere. Think about that. You got stuff coming from Hezbollah, you know what I'm saying, up there in the north. Okay. Then you're gonna have Hamas turning it up. Then you're gonna have the West Bank. You got to know that's the wild card. Okay. Grasp. That's the wild card. They're not going to expose that unless it actually go down, and I can guarantee you missiles are going to fly from the West Bank. It's going to happen. Okay. And then you're going to have Iran flying stuff in there. Where they going to land these aircraft carriers? They're not going to be able to land in there. So they can put all this stuff out there all they want. It's not going to save the Israelis if it go down. And you better know and understand, if all else fails, they're going to get those Israelis. They're going to get them up out of there. Okay. If all else fails, they got to go. Okay. So with that being said, our people got to they need to get out that area, and I'm going back to reiterate my point, because some people weighed in and was like, well, you don't know what you're talking about, this and that, but how can you have one small fraction of Israelites that have this vision and nobody else had this vision to go back over there into the land? Tanakh tells us, when we go into I believe it's Isaiah 11. Okay. Let me just verify this, right? Believe that's Isaiah 11. Okay. Isaiah 11. And if you read from verses 11 through 14, it tells you where it tells you. And it shall come to pass in that day that Yahuwah should set his hand again a second time to recover the remnant of his people. Where he getting them from? Which shall be left in Assyria, and from Egypt, and from Pathros, and from Cush, and from Elam, and from Shinar, and from Hamath, and from the islands of the sea. So Yah is gonna gather all these people from all these places. So how do we have one fraction of people that's in the land and nobody else got the memo? This is madness. This madness about this 12 tribe chart, that's madness. And I'm finna get on these Israelites. Y'all just stay tuned. We gonna get